The last pitch of the day is Baggers Originals, a company set up by mum Angie back in the 80s, which she's now relaunching with her daughter and her friends.
Hello, I'm Richard. Tell me, Baggers Originals, what's going on?
The concept is waterproof rainwear and swimwear for kids that is fun, fashionable and practical. Let us show you the concept through the old range.
Oh yes.
So all the products push into a waterproof bag, just like this, into a pocket forming a bag.
We've done a lot of market research and with parents, primary school teachers, and they just love them.
For older children.
Yeah.
But the bit I don't get is this says like established in 1988. What happened?
20 years ago was we were a team of 3, and the demand was so enormous and we were so undercapitalised, just ran out of cash, and it was like the saddest story ever. And you know, I've always wanted to do it again.
What's going to be different this time in terms of it not going out of business again?
Well, obviously over the last 20 years I've started several other businesses and I've got a lot more experience now, and I know where this went wrong last time.
We really need some help with funding for getting everything from China, as we really want to have everything manufactured. We want samples and everything, and that's where your funding would come in.
What do I think? I think that was a brilliant pitch by a group of people that clearly know what they're talking about. It does seem like a really cool product.
Thank you.
It's an interesting one. You know, there's a lady there that's had several different businesses. One at least has gone out of business. So what do you make of that? I've got to make sure that she's really understood where it went wrong the first time. But if it's true what they say, that there isn't anything on market, with those sorts of numbers, with that team, I can totally imagine investing in them.
A few days after the expo, and Richard's about to meet his top 3. What he hasn't worked out yet is how much seed capital he's gonna give them.
I'm going to give these businesses a little bit of money to get them started. It's called seed capital. They then have to prove to me that they're taking it seriously and worth further investment.
Richard set aside up to $5,000 for each of the 3 ideas, but who will be the first to try and prize it off him?
Baggers Original.
Watch out, Richard.
Hello.
Here come the girls. It's Baggers Originals.
Hello.
Baggers Originals is the relaunch of a brand that started 22 years ago. We're now relaunching it with Jessica, my daughter, and with Annalise and Natalie. I've always been my own boss and I just love the independence of it.
She is the best boss in the world.
I absolutely love working with Angie. It is the best job I've ever had. I'm just given so much responsibility and I'm allowed to express my ideas.
It's new and exciting and I have a lot of autonomy. It's brilliant.
She's a role model and she's inspirational. So I'm very, very proud of her.
With a new generation at the helm, Baggers are optimistic about their future. But last time, the business failed.
When you do have a failure in business, it's very difficult to kind of face the world again. This brand will not fail again.
Baggers are back.
Yeah, they're good.
I want to just talk numbers with you. Of the seed capital, how much do you want and what are you going to use it for?
We would like the full £5,000 and it's for 2 things.
Funny, you know, no one doesn't want the full £5,000.
Well, as a start-up business, you're always going to need cash.
Yeah.
We need to get the production process underway, so we need samples from China.
What I'm wanting to understand from you guys to be able to invest is how the hell you're going to get in front of the consumer.
We do feel that we do need to get involved with the retailer, you know, to really kind of develop sales and push the brand.
Well, that's great, and I would totally support that. The best way you can build awareness for your brand is to have your products in shops. I'm going to just cut to the chase, right? I definitely want to work with you, so I will put in 3 out of the 5. So well done, well done. So I'll put money in to fund the prototype development, but most importantly, get your product into retail.
The Baggers are back in business and all rather excitable. North Shield selected used cars. Temporary home to Baggers Originals. It's the beginning of the working day, and like all good entrepreneurs, financial director Annalise is getting someone else to make her a brew.
No!
What?
You didn't even come and offer me one!
John made it.
I like Baggers. It's a good original idea, reinvented by Angie and her team of terrific young women. The question is, can they concentrate on what the most important thing is? Now, I know I bang on about it all the time, but for me, the most important thing is sales and getting your product out in front of people.
Richard wants the girls to get their products onto the shelves, but there's bad news from the Chinese factory making the supplies. There's going to be a delay in sending the products to the UK.
Just from my experience with dealing with the Far Eastern suppliers before, that has happened to me, so I'd just be a little bit more wary and cautious of that. And maybe they've half made it and it's not quite ready, maybe something went wrong and they're just covering themselves.
In the business plan, there's...
So that's no new supplies on the horizon, and Richard is due to call for a catch-up. Timing couldn't be worse.
Hi, gorgeous. It isn't Richard, by the way.
No, gorgeous Richard's on the train trying to get through.
Price is in because that's gone up to 150 now.
Hello, Angela McCain.
Is that Baggers International?
It is Baggers International, yes. How are you?
Oh, very good. How are you getting on?
Yeah, well, the thing
Good start.
Been, doing since we last saw you is really kind of looking at how we can get brand awareness.
Yeah.
We don't want to go massively into a John Lewis with 39 stores or a Debenhams type with 69 until we've actually trialled it.
Okay.
We just feel that we just need to just go a little bit slower.
So when do you anticipate the first products being on market?
We're quite a few weeks away from launching yet. We've got a following already, quite a lot with the Twitter going. We're really kind of pushing that side of it.
How many people following you on Twitter?
We've got about 500 now. And on Facebook, we've probably got about 130. You know, it's not massive, but...
I say this with total respect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely tiny and completely insignificant.
Yeah.
Because that's the number of followers. Mm-hmm. It's not the number of people that are actually going to read it.
Yeah.
But you need to be up into literally the tens, probably hundreds of thousands if it starts to have any sort of...
Yeah, I appreciate that, but, you know, we're expected as a brand to be there, to have that presence.
You're digging yourself a hole.
But there's only 130 of them.
Yeah, there's only 130.
And you've fallen right in it.
Yeah.
But if we'd been going for a year, there'd be a lot more. Hello?
Has he hung up?
I apologise, I'm a bit of a stuck record, but it's based on what our experience was. It absolutely was about getting the product into shops, getting it on shelf. Everything is so completely secondary to that.
Yeah.
People don't buy the PR, they don't buy the Facebook page, they buy your product, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And if it isn't there, they can't buy it. And everything else is academic. So it being on shelf is 99% of the battle.
Yeah. Oh, I've lost him.
I think you have.
Well, he's on a train, I could hardly hear him. He just thinks retail, but we've got...
the figures, they do speak for themselves.
Yeah, they do. We can't run until we've learnt to crawl.
I think it sounds a bit like he's wanting us to run faster.
Totally understand why she doesn't want to go straight after the big boys. That does make sense to me. That wasn't really where my frustration was. She has to decide, is she going to sell mainly through other people's shops or through her own...
Back in Newcastle, Jessica has told the rest of the Baggers team to meet her. She's got some good news.
What's more profitable?
Should we sit down?
Yeah.
The new Bagger supplies have finally arrived all the way from China.
Always in the girls, and the labels are really nice on the front.
Oh, they are, yeah. Oh, they're gorgeous.
You're not going to lose your child in them, are you?
Not sure about the fit, Natalie, but...
Baggers are back.
One worry I have about Baggers is they don't seem properly focused on trying to sign up a big customer for launch. Whereas if you have something like that, then it's going to bring you both awareness and sales, two things that Baggers could really do with right now.
With only a week to go, Angie and Jessica get a meeting with the owners of a new chain of stores for mothers and babies.
Nice and big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I can imagine the Baggers pod just here.
I can.
These are just new samples that we've had back, so they're still a little bit in work in progress, so there's a few tweakings that we're going to be doing.
Brilliant.
So after
Seems
them,
positive.
being wet and dirty,
Yeah.
all goes in the bag. And then the swimwear we've got for girls, we've got the zip in there that when they're wet from swimming, they all push into the little bag.
I love this idea.
Really positive.
I never have anywhere to put the
I don't either.
Brilliant. We really think that would work really well in our shops.
really well, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah!
Something you'd be interested
Absolutely.
in. And we've got an order form here.
Get in there,
Like to
girl.
place an order with us today.
Amazing work. Baggers have bagged their first retail deal in 22 years.
Ta-da! Yeah, fantastic. Our first ever order with Baggers Originals. Well done, you. Well done, you.
And like all good Geordie girls, Baggers Originals celebrate in style by getting wasted.
It just goes to show that, you know, that it's just a fantastic product that we knew it was, and it's come to life again. Working in a team has been, you know, a new set of challenges. You know, it's been different for me, and I've learned a lot from that. It's been really refreshing, really good fun.
Baggers are talking to some big retailers, but will they secure a deal in time to convince Richard that their product will have a global appeal?
It's amazing how the connection's kind of there with Baggers and the product, and then with us personally, but yeah, make sure the customer's gonna connect with it and relate with it, and they're gonna buy into it. It would be fantastic to have Richard Reed invest in our business, and to have him on board would be a great credit to the company.
They wait while Richard pores over their business plans. When there's major money to invest, it's time to get serious.
Loads of progress then.
Yeah, we've made a lot of progress.
We've worked so hard and pushed ourselves as much as we possibly can to get the results that we needed to prove that Baggers is going to be really successful, and give it a couple of months and we'll be there out in the market.
Yeah, well, I really believe that.
Products are different as well to products that, you know, our competitors that are already out there. The fabric's totally different. You know, there isn't anything quite like it on the market.
So when will the first Baggers be ready?
End of September.
Can we talk a little bit more about the first time round? You know, because Baggers, as you say, it's the comeback tour, isn't it? 20 years later. And how's it going to be different this time around?
I know now that we need investment right from day one. We need money in the bank to support the cash flow.
And also our experience as a team as well to run a business now. At the time, my mum didn't have any business experience behind her, and the knowledge and experience you've now gained and learned from the first time. As a whole team, we're just all ready to, you know, go for it this time.
What would you do if I don't invest?
We'll go ahead anyway. We'll get another investor. But we want you to invest, Richard, because you've got that knowledge of taking a brand that is like virtually unknown to something that's massive.
Really likeable, energetic team, and you know, they've shown real progress. On the flip side, I'm not sure it's the world's biggest idea. Sorry to keep you waiting. I think you've done loads of good things, right? You're such a likeable team. The reality is, I think the nation's going to be buying some Baggers Originals. Whether I'm the right investor, I've got to ask myself, you know, am I really excited by the idea? Do I feel that I can be the best type of investor for you to have? And is the market as big as you guys say it is? Unfortunately, I get to a no on those last three. So I'm not going to invest.
Okay.
I think the fit between who I am and what you guys are going to do, I think there's better investors out there for you, quite frankly.
Can you put us in touch with them?
You're going to do it anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, and I just can't, I really can't wait to see you making a success of it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your
All
help.
right, thank you.
Yeah, great.
See you.
Cheers, thank
Nice to see you again, Angie.
Thanks so much.
Cheers, Jess.
Thank you.
I feel like I made the right decision. I think they're going to do it anyway. I'm not excited by it, and I want to invest in things I'm excited by.
You know, in my life, I quite like getting a no because it just makes me that much more determined.
It's the nature of being an entrepreneur. You know, you're going to get no's and you have to just pick yourself up.
This is just the beginning for Baggers.